market. So it's really, really easy.
What's the best thing you've done with slime?
You just have to keep stirring it.
Thank you.
Well, it's actually really fun to make sounds with it, and I think that's why people enjoy it so much. Yeah.
What sounds?
So, and this one isn't pulling together particularly well, but
I blame Charlie.
Listen.
That's not a sound.
It's not making much noise.
Oh,
It's not pulling together. But normally, what happens is it pulls away from the sides when you start mixing it a bit more, and then you can start stretching it.
Into it, Charlie.
I think we've got the wrong consistency.
Yeah, I think maybe this. No, it wasn't me. I made some pre-made solution.
It was you.
It was all your hard work.
You, Charlie, you messed it up.
Well, it looks more like a sort of icing mix at the moment.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
so
let's be honest.
What we would need is more borax, but I just didn't want to bring too much on the show because it takes a bit of time to mix it all in. But once you mix it in like this, as we can see from making the mixtures and seeing the clips before.
So this is the moment where you say that thing, here's what we made earlier.
Here's what we made earlier.
Really perfect ones that
point to the screen. But
yeah.
Normally it pulls together and you can stretch it out and you can basically mold it and make lots of sounds with it, and it becomes really stress relieving.
What kind of sounds?
So it makes poking sounds, crunching sounds. You can trap air in it, and like you said, you can make that thing if you want to do a bouffant over your hair, things like that. And it's just really fun. Some people actually like to make bubbles, then climb under the bubbles and pop them. So it's quite exciting.
I think you should
thing.
set up a slime fun house.
What, like activity days?
Like
for
proper
birthdays?
big, like, yeah, house you could go under the bubbles of slime. And I think you should employ Charlie as your working elf to make
I think
all your
this was
slime.
a valiant effort for your first attempt. Even though it was definitely me because I bought the wrong ingredients.
I think you're very generous. I think a lesson there is don't have Charlie help you make anything.
I'm magnanimous enough to accept that I had a role to play in that going so badly. Look, it's completely runny.
I know, but normally what happens is it pulls together a bit more, but you just need a little bit of a more concentrated solution should this happen at home.
I think it needed glitter too.
Yeah.
Talisa, thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
coming
having
in and
me.
attempting to make this. While we clear up here, take a quick look at the headlines where you are this morning. See you soon. You messed up.
Hello, good morning to you.